What's up, everybody?
Big scary Jeff and Shalia. We're gonna come and eat your children.
7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Y'all wanted an intro? Yo. I said, welcome to the purge where anything goes. We got Kane B as the host. Welcome to the show where guilters get left at the door. Yo. Welcome to the purge where anything goes. We got KB as the host. Like, welcome to the show where guilters get left at the door. And pro burgers got all the evidence the state didn't want exposed. I said we are the news. Fuck Greg Hughes. Mainstream media is what they use. Prosecution team sucks and they may lose. These are just facts.
I specialize in the education and entertainment of entertainment.
But was there anything on there? I mean, did you guys find anything on there that was incriminating?
Well, certainly the fact that we were able to
in a sudden act of evil.
See, I read Brian's face there with the furrowed brow as being more combative. He has more of a death stare in my mind. He feels angrier. Before, when the other two victims were speaking, he felt to me like he was annoyed that he had to be there. He didn't want to be part of this. Whereas right now, to me, he feels engaged and angry. Something about his facial expression there.
Manny's lost.
I was fueled by seeing the rage on his face. I was prepared to be arrested that day.
Really?
Really, no, I'm not joking.
I just don't want to be somebody who has kids before I'm ready to have them. I have a friend who told me in the next year she either wants to get a dog or have a baby. I'm like, if you think those are the same thing, you are not ready for either one. A dog or a baby? That's like saying, yeah, I'm either gonna get a skateboard or my pilot's license. It's whatever I have time for. It is insane to me how easy it is to have and keep a baby. Like, if you get your appendix removed, they won't let you take it home. But if you have a baby, they're just like, here, you drop this. And you know there are days at the hospital, nurses look at each other like, are we gonna let this happen? They both have neck tattoos. One says fuck, one says babies. Either way they stand, it's bad news. Really? This is fine. This is fine with you. What were you gonna name her? Big Red after your truck. Yeah, we gotta do something. If you want to adopt a kid, you have to jump through so many hoops, but if you just have one, they're like, that's yours forever. No questions asked? That's insane. There's no exit interview on the way out of the hospital to make sure you're okay. Just like, hey, before we hand you a baby forever, can you put this metal bowl in the microwave for me?
Purge. What are you doing? Check it out. I'm a B2. Nothing half-assed. You're hilarious. Oh, Kane, be good, be good, be good.
Can I ask you about your childhood?
Yeah, I was attacked by a serial killer.
Oh, my God, did you survive? Are we familiar? Is it like one of the...
Yes, the National Forest serial killer. He is on death row in Florida.
The National Forest serial killer? Yes. So, a man or a bear? Okay, how old were you? You said a kid.
It was in the early 2000s. I was a young preteen teen.
Yeah. Stabbing age.
Excuse me, sir. Are you supposed to be up there? Oh, my mistake. I guess that's your boat.
Put your hands behind your back. What are you doing?
Your mom doesn't want you here. You're under arrest.
And then you just pushed me.
So push your hands behind your back.
Yeah, push an officer. You came in without a warrant.
We don't need a warrant at your mom's house. Put your hands behind your back.
We're trying to work with you. Prove that it's my mom's house.
Prove to me that it is. It's not.
Know that it isn't my mom's house.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back now.
You are in my house and you are trespassing, and that is very bad karma. Very bad karma.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he's huge.
So she said.
There's a shark in the water. Oh God.
No, let me tell you something, brother. When you walk in this beat shop, I'm surprised that you still got the shirt on, Jack.
Well, let me tell you something, Hulkster. The first time I met you, I was only 3 years old, but now I'm 6 years old. So now we gotta take it to a bigger level, man. Just like when you press that no good stinky giant over your head and send them right through the table in front of 93,000 Hulkamaniacs. So what are they gonna do when the power of the Hulkster and the roaster and the dual 24-inch pythons run wild on you?
I'm about to tell you 4 things about the University of Idaho, and 3 of them are true. So let's go. Our first graduating class was half women. We were the first to clone a mule. As part of Idaho's first cybersecurity bachelor's program, we're going to be graduating our first round of graduates in May of 2025. We developed the potato used in the McDonald's fry. Can you spot the lie?
Operation GCD with an Appalachian grin. Adventures and shenanigans, we're diving right in. Out in the holler where the secrets creep, garbage can dudes digging mighty deep. Secret societies, shadows in the pines. Operation GCD of American rebels design. Double J searching deep in his brain hole, past layers of melted hops and bone resin. From cults to cover-ups, we're talking about all of that. So watch your sixth friend in the truth we trust. The world's a puzzle, grunge rock ain't what it seems. Ancient alien cargo cults haunt the moon's pale beams. Cincinnati schemers, history's a haze. Double J's on the mic, lighting things ablaze. Adventures and shenanigans, we're diving right in. Join us on the journey and enjoy the show. Thanks for joining us to get a little GCD. Yeah, the world's a puzzle, rush rock ain't what it seems. Ancient alien cargo coats haunt the moon's pale beam. Cincinnati schemers, history's a haze. Double J's on the mic, lighting things ablaze. Hell, the world's a puzzle, grunge rock ain't what it seems. Ancient alien cargo cults haunt the moon's pale beams. Cincinnati schemers, history's a haze. Double J's on the mic, lighting things ablaze. Double J's on the mic, lighting things ablaze.
Yo, KB, is that the name you claim? Rolling through genres, let me play this game. Rap like a madman, Eminem with the slang, spitting bars so sharp like a rap hangman. From YouTube fame to Idaho's wild ride, you're breaking it down, putting truths aside. Kane B got the purge, no doubt, he's the king, breaking down the case like a YouTube machine. Kane B the purge, bringing heat in the booth. Facts on the table, there's no room for proof. Throwing down lyrics while the world's watching. Is it guilty or free? That's the question we're knocking. Kane B the purge, taking Idaho by storm. He's got the heat and the truth breaking the norm. We're all glued to this case, no one's letting go. Will Brian be guilty or will he be let go? Kane B's in the game, watch him lay it all bare. Will justice find the truth or just disappear in the air? Here's my bubblegum pop, you ready or not? Kane B's in the mix with the case so hot. Rap, rock, pop, he's switching it up. Dancing through the genres like a YouTube cup. Got Kane B, the purge, putting the story in flow. Breaking it down with humor, watch the case blow. Boom, Kane B's riding with electric groove. Breaking it down, yeah, he's on the move. He's got the purge, so come and watch him reign. Sipping on knowledge like it's truth on a train. Kane B the purge, taking Idaho by storm. He's got the heat and the truth breaking the norm. We're all glued to this case, no one's let go. Will Brian be guilty or will he be let go? Kane B's in the game, watch him lay it all bare. Will justice find the truth or just disappear in the air? Now here I am, R&B vibes on deck. Let's get a little smooth, but don't forget, I'm bringing humor, I'm bringing the sound. But this case got us all spinning round. KB with the truth, it's hard to ignore. Like waiting for that next chapter in the lore.
All right. Yeah. I guess somehow the music got off kilter because I deleted something from the beginning. Anyway, I need to address the fact that I ended the live stream and there's probably only like 4 of us in here that can find it right now, and they're like, why am I clicking on this link and it's not working? Kane! Kane, where are you? I can hear him. I can hear him right now. You know it's time for news. Okay, let's see here. We got JJ coming today. Hopefully Jen from Criminal, I know I keep promising you that, but she's, it's tougher for her to make it during the day. So, considering we were a late night show forever. Alright, let me copy all this stuff out of this one first, so I'm not a complete fool, and then fine. That's how you doing? Everyone, it's nice to see all of you today. Hope you had a wonderful day with your kids, with your job, with your family, the whole thing. All of it. I wish it well upon you right now. There we go. This show is supposed to be called Secrets. Does anybody remember that song? No? Alright, now we can delete the other one. Alright, I've got the link, the wrong link in the... I am batting 1,000. You know, sometimes you gotta say what the fuck. And here we are today. Alright, and there's that, and that's not actually even... Does anybody seen Chipmunk Feet? I'll make sure that I got Chipmunk Feet and Shaggy. Oh, guys. Jen probably can't find. I figured out how to fix the problem with Jen. No. 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 Oh, she just needs to use a new browser. And you might say, oh, maybe she's half browser on her brother's side. And I say, no. Anyway, so we'll save that. It is what it is. If people find us, they schmind us. You know what I mean? Don't schmind me, pal. So, yeah, alright. Now I'm moving on. If you're new to the Purge, hit the like button. It's right down there. I'll wait. Go ahead. And meaning won't bite you. In the meantime, Tony's been asking for you guys. He wondered when everybody was going to get here, because I keep fouling everything up. Jailer. So did you catch the engine? I'll be the first. I got a confession to make. It's hard to say. Well, I was cursing the engine at least. It's the first thing I'll tell you out loud right now. But maybe others. But, alright, we'll fix the other thing later. Get rid of this, go into that. Kane, you're not big enough, man, if I had $1. Oh, loaded. Where do we go from here? What was I doing? I don't even remember. I need to fix. It's gonna drive me because I had it perfect, the thing and all the things. Hold on, and this is why, Kane. Oh wait, you know what I can do? You know what I can do? Well, we don't want to watch the reel again. But I tell you, I had that hot air balloon with the lady and the fire out of her butt. I had it lined up perfect with the JJ. That was the only thing that really mattered to me. And then I made a last minute change and it screwed up the whole timeline, guys. All right. Anyway, he's weird. I don't like him anymore. It's true. He's really true. Let me go back. How far back? Way back. All the way back. Okay, and there we go. Let's take a quick little gander. Oh yeah, I don't even need this. Maybe. Hold on, let's see if I still have it open. Of course not. Nope. And I was cursing Anjanette Levy. This is from the bottom of my heart. And I made maybe a couple disparaging comments in her stream. And what I figured out is that she is a corporate tool, like a cog in a machine. She has a scripted thing she has to go by, and I understand that. And I acknowledge that. I don't appreciate it, but I understand as is. What did she say? Such as Anjanette Levy. And so, I'm getting that dead stare in my eye. It's the end of the day. I'm so glad y'all here. Kane's a serial killer. So the best thing to do here is just to feed me M&Ms and Mounds bars at this point. So yeah, Anjanette Levy. And I was ripping her on my live last night. Well, it wasn't me. It was my evil twin, Kane, not Kane B, up in here. And that's his last broadcast. It's going to be reading Kane Bo, something positive from here on. So that channel will be reading Kane Bo from here on out. If anybody knows. Maybe MK Ultra. You never know what I'm going to do. I could just change my mind. I went from cursing out Anjanette Levy to being her biggest fan here now, and man, she sets up for it right. And I didn't see it coming. It was a gut punch, honest to goodness. And she's interviewing this guy here, and I'm just like, listen to these softballs. She's throwing them and blah 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 blah. And then she does this little flick of the hair thing. So she does the hair flip, and the next move is the glamour shot hand. And then she does one of these. And she asks him, did you find anything incriminating? And look at him, he's just chill and calm and regular guy look. He's got in the brown mailman Oxfords with the button-down shirt smell. He's comfy. He's got a beer cracked. He's going to go home and whip the kids, allegedly. And she comes in at the last minute. And you can hear his brain crackle. Listen. Straight up deer in headlights, son. What? And hold on, I gotta do it. Ready? This is funny. Three, two, one. Now, this is the guy Lucy was talking about today. That is the psychologist. And I tried to find the best part. There was a couple great parts where if BK breathed left out of his mouth, then he was guilty, and he doesn't even move at all. The only other thing he had. Am I muted or something?
Kane, we can't hear the fucking video, bro. We can't.
Oh, you couldn't hear the video? Thank you for the save. Okay, I appreciate it. Yep. Okay, just reenact all that shit and act like you can hear the video. I don't know why you can't hear the video. The fucking audio's on. Excuse me. What do you mean you can't hear the video? Is he lying? Is he lying? Good save. Nice save, Twiz. Appreciate it. I'm going to try that again. Alright. These things happen when you're live streaming. That's weird because, okay, hold on. Usually the audio is not the problem. It's just not going to be as fun now. All right, we're back, and we're back. Let's just scrub that last 42 minutes of the show, if you don't mind. So here's Anjanette Levy. She does the flip of the hair, does the glamour shot, and then drops it. You'll see. You've heard enough now.
But was there anything on there? I mean, did you guys find anything on there that was incriminating?
3, 2, 1.
Well, certainly the fact that we were able to,
in a sudden act of evil.
All right. I'll give it to you one more time because you just have to appreciate it.
But was there anything on there? I mean, did you guys find anything on there that was incriminating?
Hold on. This is one part. Hold on.
But was there anything on there? I mean, did you guys find anything on there that was incriminating?
The blink. He's like, did she really just fucking ask me that? He tried to say something, the words just didn't come out. Look at her face. She's like, damn right. I'm a journalist. One more time in case you couldn't hear it. There you go.
But was there anything on there? I mean, did you guys find anything on there that was incriminating?
well, certainly the fact that we were able to.
All right, it's time for Muse. Here we go. Oh, boy. All right. And that's what friends are for. Keep shining. I wanted to play this video and I have to read it. I think it was just the headline, really. I wanted. Oh, yeah. On this one, yes, I will show it to you. Sorry. A new video shows Brian. Sweating now. Shows Brian Koberger bragging about being honest. It's stopped by cops. I was just being honest. He was simply just being honest. They turned it into bragging. Why? Why on earth, New York Post? Do you have to do that? Is that what the prosecution was going to run with? That he was bragging that he was honest, and then go around and turn around and say, he's a self-serving liar, he's dumb, he's a puddle of dirt, we hate him. Oh. I mean, it couldn't be more blatantly honest. We out in the open how freaking corrupt they are over there. And not just there. I have a story coming up about, I think it's in here, about old Grady Judd there in Polk County. One of his deputies was pickpocketing his customers. And I always say Grady Judd likes to get out there and he likes to stroke his own cack in front of all his fans there at his Polk County resolutions. But 9 times out of 10, it's his own deputies that are doing the bad shit. I mean, I can't even count how many times, oh, this was a bad egg we had over here in Polk County. I'm Grady Judd still. I mean, one time it was child stuff. Why do they have to do that? They can now, though, legally, because he pleaded guilty. This is just the headline again. He got off the motorcycle and offered the bear food, which was him, and then the bear took him out. Good. Hey, there he is. Thought it would be smart to feed the bear. Do not poke the bear. Everyone thinks he's Smokey the Bear. Alright. Well, I guess it's up to 65 down. I'm not even going to address it. But it did make me think something, though. There was a lot of talk recently around the webs of the tube whether or not, you know, blah, 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 Dylan should have money. But what about BK, and then also about him getting a private lawyer? And so I said, well, what a good idea for a GoFundMe. I don't know how much it would raise, if anybody's thought of that, if Podcast for Peterson has done it. But that would be a great, and you know, if you're still on the fence and you think he's guilty in some way or whatever, at least you're here and you know, and you see the way they're violating us, him, and everybody around them, without any repercussions, regret, remorse, any judgment. They're in the public eye for the majority. They're the CNN Golden Hanger Award over there in Moscow, Idaho, and it doesn't work. And so that, I think a GoFundMe, if I think I looked at GoFundMe once just to see what that shit was, and try to get a GoFundMe for surfing, and I don't know, it didn't work out. Anyway, I might be able to put that together, so maybe by the next show we'll do some kind of thing for GoFundMe for Brian, for him to get a lawyer, and then you know, because somebody was saying that the state will sponsor an attorney for the appeal and pay for the appeal and all that, but I want to go next level. So you know, if you can't necessarily guarantee that you're going to get Ann Taylor, I don't know, with the death penalty off the table anyway. So Spokane man arrested in Lewiston, alleged trafficking following canine search, and yeah, and so he had this much amount. I learned this when I was this many years old. 200 grams. Too many grams. Over there in Lewiston. So to say that's a trafficking area is pretty well vetted. I would agree with any other creator that feels that way. And like I don't know if I was saying it on the purge or the regular purge. I was talking about how Idaho connects to Canada. You have Spokane, Washington, right over there by Coeur d'Alene. And I think it's funny, the name Coeur d'Alene, because it seems like it's like a train name, like Coeur d'Alene trains or something. It's just, I bet you anything through Rathdrum, through that little mountainous range where all the right-wingers are, the militias, that's a major hub. And we kind of figured out that Snake River and that whole Pacific Northwest coast, Washington and Oregon, are uninhabitable. So there's not a lot of activity, and you don't really hear a lot about the Coast Guard bringing down people on the river. And so I think what you have is a heavy situation where you're bringing stuff in, people out of that area easily, passing. You know, they take their enemies out and they keep their thing. That's the ones that make their news. The news is the enemies, right? So this first one, why did I click on that again? That was so cool for a second. Yeah. So they're once again, despite this being misproven, they're running with this headline. They have no shame in the game. Brian Koberger seemingly inspired by incel Mass Elliot Roger. Really? Is that what happened? Is that what? Let's see. Let's see where they have these facts that they've brought. You're gonna love it. At DeSales University, some of the people that Brian and I studied were serial unalivers where Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Kemper, Elliot Rodger, former undergrad classmate Josh Ferraro shared on the Prime Video documentary One Night in Idaho. Released earlier this month. Why don't they give the programming information? Like a TV guide here or what? Elliot Rodger. He was a young man in college that was basically jaded and hated his whole life because he lacked the attention from friends, family, and most of all, women. We know what he did. Da-da-da-da. And according to another DeSales classmate, so there's never a connection. They just tell the Elliot Rodger story. And then they jump to the next witness. All this guy says, they literally have twisted his words now. If he meant this, that's one thing, but they don't say it. At DeSales University, some of the people that Brian and I studied were Brian and I. So this guy, in the way that this is being presented, is just as guilty as Brian. And then they jump to the next one. And according to classmate from DeSales, Brittany Slavin, Brian was interested in a lot of things that we learned, but he did have more of an interest in Elliot Rodger. In fact, Slavin said Koberger did not act fazed by Rodger's crimes. I'm just going to let you go and run with that one. I talked to other girls in the class where they were all bothered by what Elliot Rodger did. Do you see what I just read? I talked to other girls in the class, and they were bothered by what Elliot Rodger did. But Brian did not seem bothered. There's a whole incel manifesto where they created the boogeyman just for you. And then they even show you this demure character, this rational guy, very mellow, very keen, even-keeled, in the seatbelt video that we weren't allowed to see forever. And they try to say that he's a braggart, that he's a psychotic braggart. News. So this is a follow-up I talked about it last night. Jeff Knight arrested after FWC. So the Florida Wildlife and Game Commission has decided that this guy, who he owns like a couple concert venues around here, and Night Cable, which is a subsidiary of Spectrum, and he has money, and he hit this ferry that was crossing Clearwater Bay or whatever the hell, Scientology Bay. And the ferry was carrying a bunch of people. Unfortunately, 8 people lost their lives. However, the ferry had no running lights. And you can see it was dusk. This is of the time of the thing. And so he didn't see them. He hit them full speed. I mean, it's not like he was doing that on purpose. And so he waited around for 11 minutes, had people on his boat make 911 calls, and then had to go to port because he said he was taking on water, or he wasn't sure. When you're in a boat, you don't want to second guess with people's lives if you're taking on water. So he went to the boat port, called the police, and so now 2 months later, they are trying to indict him for manslaughter, which is, they're just going after his money. Rich guy, ferry crash. It is clearly just an accident, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. That's a nice follow-up on that one so far. Suspected suspect identified in unalivings of abandoned Tennessee babies' relatives. Investigators are looking for a man. They allege unalived 4 relatives of a Tennessee baby who was found abandoned alive this week in sweltering heat. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said on Thursday. Austin Robert DeMond is wanted in connection with the deaths of James Wilson, Adriana Williams, Courtney Rose, and Braden Williams, whose bodies. So they found the baby was wandering around. They went to go take it home, and they found 4 bodies of these people. I guess Drummond will be considered armed and dangerous. This is in Tennessee again. It was 116 degrees in the area. Another white tan SUV today for you to check out. Yeah, so we'll see that. They're already one man hunt down, which is amazing. Not that I like the Travis Decker guy. I don't know what's going on there. If you listen to George Webb, yeah, you guys know. A lot of things seem coincidentally happening at the same time, and it just keeps ramping up. We're just pushing over the edge, and we're gonna see what's over the mountain. Because, like I said, when fingers start pointing, the answers start coming out. So the Happy Face killer wants Brian Koberger to be locked up with him. This guy was a long-haul trucker. He's 7 years old now. He was taking out women of the night, lot lizards and such. And I wasn't familiar with this story. I know that the FBI has an open case right now because these atrocities continue. They are happening mostly, I guess, on the I-75 corridor or 95, whatever goes from Melbourne, Florida, on up through to Ohio or New York, wherever the hell it is there. And they just find the bodies on the side of the road in the woods, and then you have the smiley face killer group. So you have, the Lady Bird Lake. And look, this guy looks, I'll bet you $20 this is worth looking into. How they took him down. He may or may not have been a part of it, but I have a feeling there's a bigger operation going on. Apparently he put a smiley face on his victims, something, and so it's like, okay, dude, really? So you think he's the only one? Let's lock him up now, and that's all over with? No. But this is, oh, did I close it up? I don't know if I saved it. I might not have saved it. Thinking out loud. Sorry. So this one's a beefy one. This has got juice. Let me put it up here so I can see. If you guys can still see. Can you still see? I don't know. I'll just read it. You can still hear. So, what an interesting connection to come about. The Happy Face Killer, a 70-year-old inmate serving 4 life sentences for taking out 8 women, said he wants Brian Kober to be locked up with him in prison to help protect him from being unalived. Keith Jesperson, known as the Happy Face, for drawing smiley faces on letters he sent to the media, that's right, and law enforcement, was a long-haul trucker when he did 8 women, mostly sex workers and transients, between 1990 and 95. now serving 4 life sentences at Oregon State Penitentiary. There was I won't even bring that up. Jefferson recently wrote a letter to Heath Rover, a former prison minister and podcast host of the lighter side of true crime, suggesting Koberger, who pleaded guilty to killing 4 university students in 2022, should be transferred to his facility for protection. His best hope is to be transferred to here, the Max Prison in Oregon, to be away from those who want to make a name for themselves by taking him out. This prison gets inmates from other states in order to protect them from the drama he added, referencing a network in western states that sometimes transfer inmates across state lines because of safety concern, special housing needs, or overcrowding. Idaho, where Koberger will be served 4 life sentences, is not part of the pact, however. Now, obviously, we've heard AR time and time again discuss this. He did a whole show specifically on the transfer. He was like he considered himself at one time a mobile inmate, where he was at one prison one day and then just wake up and you're off in Arizona. So despite the fact that they're not, Idaho was one of the places that AR said he was transferred from. So I don't know if they got their facts straight on this one. This is the Lawyer Herald. I don't know. So anyway, Rivera added that 30-year-old Koberger is likely to struggle in prison, noting that he lacks street smarts and prison smarts. His awkward behavior was a recurring theme throughout the court proceedings. One former inmate also described the Idaho as effing weird. On July 2nd, Koberger pleaded guilty to 4 counts of first degree. Catman, Kaylee, Ethan, and Xana. Prosecutors initially pursued. Yeah. So that's I spent a little more time on that extra, but I think it'd be interesting to see. And here he is, and his name is Register. If that registers with you, Justin, register. Just in case, register. Polk County, where the weather is hot, the gators are bold, and apparently the deputies are running side hustles out of the squad car. Meet Justin Register, now a former traffic enforcement deputy, decided that law enforcement wasn't lucrative enough, so he allegedly started a little freelance wall lightning business right there on the shoulder of the road near Fort Meade. During what should have been a simple license registration moment, well, he took this guy's $300 and he had it in his trunk. And this is the second case that I remember of a cop stealing a bunch of stuff and it was in their trunk. And he handed it over like, oh yeah, oh, here it is. Like, but he was like, yeah, I know I'm busted. Here it is, whatever. The other guy was like, oh, here it is. I found it. Look at that. I guess everything's okay now, right? Arrested by Smokey the Bear. Oh, bears are really making the news lately, aren't they? Oh, man. All right, we'll get JJ up here in a minute. Has anybody seen him in the chat? If you have, recruit him in my direction. University of Idaho student who vanished in 1981 while riding a bike with read today. You know what? I need to snap into a sidebar. It's orange drink. University of Idaho student who vanished in 1981 while riding a bike was taken out and dismembered. Was she the victim of a serial unaliver? I'm trying to keep it straight today. This is the crime junkie. And anyway, this happened on the Snake River. She left the University of Idaho in Moscow in 1981 and never made it to Lewiston, where she her destination. She was going to spend the summer with her mom or dad or something like that. And then I believe, I am about 99% sure now, and if Jen comes in here today, I'll see if she can verify, but I think this is the girl who was dismembered into 6 different garbage bags. Found on the side of the road, and they declared it a natural passing away. Real. It's not just law enforcement and prosecution, it's also the coroner's office. Very highly involved. This is our route. Check the chat. Okay. Big Mikey, welcome in. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So, yeah. Anyway, that's... Over the years, the FBI developed a 20-point psychological profile on the unaliver, revealing that he was likely a white male between 21 and 28, who lived alone with his girlfriend, not an incel though, and an underachiever. It's like, now that we've seen the grandmother of this psychological profiling and surviving the survivor and all that crap, I don't take anything they conject seriously at all. I mean, they're just completely making shit up just to have shit to say. This is really sad. A man executed daughter-in-law in front of guests at family wedding, and this did happen like around 10 p.m. So you got to figure they're full on into the reception, having a blast. You're partying, blah blah blah. And then this guy did, and they said he did it execution style. And you know, everybody be safe out there, because I care about all you guys. You know, and nuts like this are just popping off with this heat and everything else. So stay safe out there, folks. Stay safe. Watch out for the kids. Check their phones. Roland Schmidt, 76, from Stillman Valley, Illinois, is facing first degree after allegedly doing his stepdaughter, daughter-in-law, I'll get it right, Christine Moyer, 45, during a family wedding. The incident occurred outside the Marriott in Schaumburg, Illinois, according to the Schaumburg police. They responded to a shooting at approximately 10:15 and found Moyer with a shot to the head, where they pronounced her DOA, at the hospital. He was upset over a filing of divorce between her and his son. Whatever occurred there was worth doing that. And he had planned, again, if you're going to just take yourself out, why do you have to make it miserable for the rest of us? It's already hard enough. I don't see where the satisfaction is going to come in, because you're not going to, even if it did, you're not going to live to enjoy it. I know, Tony. They don't listen. Father of teen charged with murder says she didn't show any red flags. This one is weird. I don't know, because it's like with this case with Idaho4. We know that there are, and I talked about this last night, but you know, there's new people in here, so there's people that do terrible stuff every day, all over the country, everywhere. Yesterday, a cop got shot in the leg in front of Busch Gardens, a school resource officer. Now, this girl, I forgot how old she was at the time. She was 16 at the time, and I think it's her step-parents or whatever it is, her mother and stepfather were taken out. And the day it happened, she called her dad. They took her to the police station. He came, picked her up at the police station. She says that they were involved in the FETs and all these other things. And that somebody through those channels probably did it. But now it seems as if the police have run out of other options and they're pinning it on her. And I don't think she did it. Danielle Patrick said he did not notice any red flags from his daughter, Sarah Grace Patrick. In the months leading up to her arrest in the unalivings of her mother and stepfather, he also said that he believes his daughter is innocent. She never gave me any red flags at all, Danielle told the Newsweek. My daughter and I have always had an open relationship. Sorry, the coconut's right there. To where she could tell me anything and nothing ever came out. And this has been months, I think. Sarah Grace, 17, was arrested in Carroll County, Georgia, and charged with 2 counts. Her mother and stepfather, 41-year-old Kristen Brock, 45-year-old James Brock, were found from an apparent gunshot wound. Sarah Grace's arrest in connection was announced at a news conference on July 8th. Ashley Hulsley, I keep wanting to say Hushley, spokesperson for the Carroll County Sheriff, said officials pursued every lead, sifted through mountains of physical evidence and digital evidence, and conducted countless interviews and canvassed the general area with agencies such as the FBI. The GBI, Crom Law Enforcement, and private forensic laboratories. Get used to seeing it now. It's not weird anymore. There it is. That's part. This case was very much a heavy initiation, and we got away with it, boys. Full steam ahead. You better believe it. And so you can't help but think she probably had some DNA in the house because she lived there. It sounds like they don't have a weapon, which you wouldn't think. I don't know. Hold on, let me make sure on the weapon thing. Dad says, I know 100% of my heart that Sarah's innocent. She's a typical 17-year-old that lived like a teenager. She would never do this. Donnell said he received a call from Sarah Grace around 7:30 a.m. on February 20th. Usually my daughter called or texted me around 7:30, but this time she hung up. He thought it was a butt call. About the time I started to get in my car, I received another call, and that was from an ambulance, and he said that they told him that his ex-wife and her husband were dead. He said he did not find out until later that Kristen and James were both shot separate from them. As I was on the way there, I instantly thought, oh my gosh, did they get a hold of some fat or something like that? Because I know they were, into prescriptions and stuff like that. Danielle met his daughter at Carroll County Sheriff's Office. We told them everything we knew. And Donnell said that he was asked by an officer if he would like to take a break at one point in the interview. By the time I came back in, they had her in the room interrogating her without my permission. By the way, she was 16 at the time, he said. At that point, Donnell said, so you have a whole nother aspect in this case, don't you? Where this is a minor, and they took advantage of the fact that they gave the dad a break. He takes the break, and he comes back, and they're interrogating him without it in there. Listen, I understand that criminals fight dirty. That doesn't mean that because once you cross the line, there is no line. After that point, Danielle said they did not hear from officials. Oh, I'm sorry. They did not hear from officials who were only communicating with the next of kin. He said Sarah Grace talked to the next of kin a lot in the beginning. About 2 weeks went past, and then they quit answering calls and taking messages. Donnell says Sarah Grace had told him about other people who she suspected were behind the unalivings. She had told us about, other friends and family and stuff, and she suspected they could have done it. Huxley said the news conference last month was... Sorry, there's a lot of coconut in here. It is very possible because this remains an open and ongoing investigation that more arrests. So there's no details in this particular article about the weapon. Yeah, so that one needs further looking into, I think. Let me see the chip item. There she is. What's up, Miss Stormy, darling? I'm excited to see your show. I like your show, and I like Colder Cupboards doing a Monday Funnies or something like that. Now, the last one, I'll be honest with you, was it was kind of like girl directed. I didn't. I'll show it though in a little bit. Have we seen Operation GCD? Do I need to clone his ass? I will clone his ass right now. He does have a show tonight, so I was hoping to get him on early. Yes. Oh, yeah. Somebody please put a link for true crime or whatever. Do all that. Try to help her out. She's going to be one of those like, yeah, I knew her when. That's how it always works here. Oh, you were looking for the big intro, huh? I messed up your, the song I put together for you. I've been dying to use that song, the Operation GCD with Appalachian Grin song, for a while. And then I finally used it. I had it perfect. And then I had one little change at the beginning as soon as the sniper put the dot on my head. And it messed up the whole... But it still came out good. There was just a little tail piece at the end. And I'll fix it and I'll play it for our break today while you're nerding out. What? And then, so, yeah. Operation GCD, everybody. Welcome. Do I need to... Is this Purge? I need to do stuff, probably. I'm running way behind. He was willing to make a deal. Alright, 5. I tried to bark my way out of the doghouse with Heather the other day. It didn't work. I call her Heather. That's weird. It feels weird to call her Heather now. There's a couple more good stories here. We'll just... meow. JJ, if you don't have the link, there it is. Wow, did you do that? She put her own link in here. I like it. That's cool. Oh, you know what's funny? That I just realized? I put the wrong thumbnail. I have all kinds of stuff I gotta change. This is just a disaster today. Alright, we got a couple more to run through here. Oh, man. Okay, this is the one that I was telling you, the... Gosh. People are just popping out. So the other day, I was starting to do the DoorDash thing, and, it was... Must have been Wednesday or Tuesday. And I get on the road. What day is today? Yeah, Tuesday. And so I get on the road, and I hear beep, honk, 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 like it was road rage honking. And it was behind me. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Sometimes you're like, what? And it's a 3-lane road. I'm just staying in my lane over here and being chill, Kane. And then there's a light right there in Ulmerton, and I see this guy in a truck, and he's got a tow-behind trailer, like it looks like a shed, like one of those, to full size. He goes over from his lane into the lane of another truck that's got a little tow-behind metal thing, like to carry concrete, just a little frame, and full-on whacks it like a weapon. He weaponized his shed against the guy's truck. And I'm like waiting for the truck to go rolling into McDonald's or something like that. but the guy who did the attacking just whacked him with the shed and then kept driving, made it through the light, and the guy got whacked, just sat at the light and didn't even, like nothing had happened. He didn't give a shit. If it had been my car, it would have been crushed probably. And so I'm just like, man. And then there was like 5 more things, just people everywhere. So this is wild. This guy got shot by this guy who wanted to take his own life out of nowhere. And I think it's like right in front of the precinct at Busch Gardens that they have over there, which is a wild area. And that's that cute little bridge that you see when you go to Busch Gardens. I don't know. I have, but every cop, you know, they're already burying one cop in New York today. The guy got taken out in the Midtown Blackstone thing. And I guess Blackstone is a realty company. And so you have these people celebrating the fact that these people lost their lives, which is just sick. You know, but you can't tell me Blackstone isn't related to BlackRock in some way. I'm gonna go ahead and say there's probably something bad going on there, but that doesn't mean that. And then a lot of innocent people. Like, I guess there was a restaurant. He was trying to get to the NFL, and he said he had the helmet head disease or whatever, which is a very gnarly thing. And Junior Seau famously suffered from that, and he took his own with a shotgun, which was crazy because he was the nicest guy of all time. He's like the Tony Gwynn of football, you know. And right, Tony? Yeah. And so CTE or something like that, and yeah. So rest in peace. The high energy, high five, you know, it was kind of touching to see the pictures of Sharon Osbourne, though, today at Ozzy's funeral or whatever. And, I mean, I already loved Ozzy when I was a kid. I was already big Black Sabbath fan and everything. But they really earned their place in our hearts, didn't they? That family. They're quite a cast of characters, right? You know, like. Stuff. It's been a while since I played that. He doesn't. Like this. Trying to think over the mountain. Yeah, Randy Rhoads. Lost him a long time ago. Now we lost Ozzy. Rest in peace, Ozzy. So, no, I'm not a lefty. It's just, I'm a little slower, to be honest with you, and I'm not comfortable on that guitar. I'm more comfortable on this one right there. That one's got a skinnier neck. I'll be honest with you, I have huge but I have tiny little fingers. They're these mere mins. I can crack them. Which, in my case, it gives me more tensile strength, I think. And anyway, the smaller necks, like some of the 50s Les Pauls, it's either 50s or 60s. They're really nice. Like this one's like a more of a flatter backside on the neck. On this is that like original Jackson neck. It doesn't have the original one had. This has a little more of a curve to it. The original one had it where it was almost flat straight across in the back. So I was able to kind of get in and do my thing without having to think of it. With this one, I'm literally, I'm stretching it right there. To be able to do this is a lot for me, which is not normal for me. So it's like, I can't, it doesn't, I still think the same, just my fingers are like a second behind. It's weird. So, anyway, let's see what else we got here. I haven't opened the browser yet, have I? Did I open the browser? Maybe it's half browser. Alright, we still haven't seen any sign from JJ. I did have, like I promised you guys, hold on, let me do this, all this stuff back here. Hold on, it takes 1 second. Oh, is Jeff H back here? Oh man. I was teasing your comment the other day or last night, Jeff, about how you said how much work that Chief Fried put into the case and got a successful conviction. I was like, dude, that guy is freaking delusional, man. Mixed nuts? Anyone? Mixed nuts? So yeah. Quickly, well, I guess it really doesn't matter. I really wanted to line up that, but we don't need to. Let's see. Oh, shh. I'm sorry.
Virgin?
Hello? What?
Greetings.
Hello, Operation GCD. Look at that.
Howdy.
What's going on, man? How are you today?
It's your dime, pal. You tell me.
Listen, whatever 69-cent can of Hula Burgers gets me, then and a bun of Wonder Bread. That's all I got for you today. It's the end of the month. Check with me on the 5th.
I caught some Operation GCD theme songs in there. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I messed it up. I had it set perfectly for when things are set ablaze for the fire to come shooting out of her ass. You know, and
perfect.
It didn't work out that way. Hold on, I've got a not responding window here. Uh-oh. How are you, sir? Do you have any thoughts coming on in here?
Is this the purge?
This is where. Oh wait, I can't hear you now. Now we lost you.
What?
Hold on.
Hello. Hello.
I think I might have to restart my program. All right, it's gonna shut down for a second. Nobody panic.
Uh-oh.
I'll just reopen it. Unless it does it on its own here. Hold on. Give it one more second. Got nobody moved. No, I've closed the first one, Judge.
I'm not sure what's going on. I feel like it's kind of like an Al Qaeda hostage at the moment.
Hold on, I had to close OBS.